This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a little WFO Radio live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and wherever else we're going. That's right. We're still on Twitch. We're still doing it all. And it is Wednesday, and you might be saying to yourself, well, why? Why on Wednesday? What has happened this past weekend that is so out of the ordinary that we should have Wednesday show? And the answer is we got winners, baby. We got winners. If you listen to Alan Reinhart, myself, you saw Sean Bellemere, the reigning Lucas Oil Top Alcohol Funny Car World Champion, join us and talk about the victory down there at the Texas Motorplex. A huge event in drag racing, as in it marks the return of NHRA competition during this whole coronavirus COVID-19 scenario. Well, there's the other side of that coin talking about top alcohol dragster Meyer will be joining us just seconds from now. So if you're a fan of Megan or Top Alcohol or drag racing or WFO, or even if you're a random total stranger, start a watch party. You will like what we are about to do. This is going to be a quickie because I know everybody's getting ready for the big launch, SpaceX Falcon 9 Dragon capsule. The first time American astronauts are going back into space on an American spacecraft. It's really cool. I am monitoring the whole time. We're going to make sure we get everybody done. I do want to tell you the show is brought to you by a couple of great sponsors that literally make it possible. Without them, we would not have a show. Like Total Seal Piston Rings. You want that 20% off? You better hit them up real soon. It's almost over as we get back to business. All you DIY racers, if you're looking for rings, if you're looking for tools, if you're looking for the latest, greatest technology, go to TotalSeal.com, hit them up. Also, Marvin Rodak. RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com, the hot sauces and the spice rubs, everything great. But it's the Rodax coffee that keeps me going like I'm nitro-fueled, baby. Rodax, 817-924-6821. Samtech.edu, you know, we've got our next generation of drivers coming along just fine, like world champion Meyer will be joining us just seconds from now. But what about crew members, crew chiefs, engine builders, machinists, all of those people that are so vital to the sport of drag racing and motorsport in general? If you're a relatively younger person, you don't even have to be younger, and you want to go down this road, samtech.edu can help you greatly. Check them out. Go to samtech.edu. And of course, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, they're populating classes right now as we speak, and it is very, very cool. Frank and Lana Hawley, small business drag racing, why would you not? I'm WFO Joe. We encourage you to subscribe on Apple Podcasts. And we put these all out as a podcast plus our Ignition show. Those of you watching on YouTube, click the bell. And just like that, it is time for our world champion and race winner, guest Megan Meyer, who joins us now. Hello, Megan. How are you doing?
I am great. How are you, Joe?
I'm great. So the last we spoke, I don't know if you realize, you know, when we're doing the happy hour show on Friday and, Courtney Enders and Jason Logan, and we were just like having fun. For you to come on and give us a tour of your pit and show us the new NGK wrap, and you brought me to the track for the first time. It was spectacular. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. And thank you for letting us have that opportunity. It was fun to bring on Rachel and my dad and some of the other guys. I had no idea what they were going to say. So it's kind of it's just funny that it's just so uncensored.
Live, right? Live. It's WFO Radio Live, like these live streams. You know, it's in the title. They're live, which means someone could say anything, and you got to just roll with it. Oh yeah, there's profanity. Yeah, gotta roll with that, and it's no big deal. But your dad was great, and he looked like he was settled in, like he was ready to go a little bit longer and tell some stories about you two girls. It was probably lucky for you we got you off the air at just the right moment. He was getting comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, who knows the type of stories that he could tell. We try to make sure, growing up, I grew up at the racetrack, always watched him racing before I got started. And, there's all the times where we'd sneak out in the middle of the night of the motorhome, and we didn't think that our parents knew about it. But I think in the end, they always knew. So who knows what types of stories they know that we've been up to.
And somebody ratted you out also. Like, that's the thing kids don't realize is they think that everybody is honest and on their side, and they are, and that's why they rat you out, right? Like, oh, by the way, the girls were out last night. No big deal. We saw them. Everything was cool. But all you young people out there are no secrets. You're going to be found out. Just tell in advance. So it was interesting that we had pro mods there. I was out on the NHRA.TV live stream. Bang Shift was out there. Chad Reynolds up there swinging the camera. And it all worked out well for you. You won the event as champion. You told us on Friday, the season didn't start the way you wanted. You weren't feeling great about the points. Jegs All-Stars were on the line. You went to the final and you won. Tell us your story. How did it all go down?
Yeah, well, first we made 6 test runs. We did 4 on Thursday, and then we did 2 more Friday before qualifying even started. And we got started off to a rocky patch there with testing. We were still trying out some stuff that we used in Melrose that didn't quite work then, but we knew we had really great weather and track conditions down in Louisiana at the beginning of March. Now going to Dallas, May, it's hot, it's humid, it's like 95 degrees there. We were just covered in sweat. It's very hot. So our team, it was okay. We would have definitely qualified with it, but we wouldn't have been number 1. So Friday morning, we changed the combination back to what we were doing last year because we knew that worked. And it was around 10:30 Friday morning. First pass we ran was a 5:17. And that's when I also lifted right after 1,000 foot. And so we knew, okay, this works. We're going to keep this combination. So we made another test hit after that, but it was very hot out. So we didn't run as great then, but that's okay. So going into qualifying, first one, we ran a 24, which put us at the top of the field. Rachel was number 3. She ran a 32. And then our second qualifier Friday night, we ran a 27. And I don't remember exactly what Rachel did, but she had stayed at number 3, and then Robin Samsel was number 2 with a 31. So my car was well ahead of everybody else. There were 12 dragsters there for the race. And then Saturday morning, we got one more qualifying shot, again, around 10:30 in the morning. And what was funny was Rachel, since I was the number 1 qualifier, I was the very last car. Rachel was the second to last pair. She ran a 5:24 with a 0, so that put her ahead of me. And it was so funny because everyone's looking at me now. They're like, okay, we know you're not going to let your sister beat you. So, which I have no control over how fast the car is going to run, but we didn't really change anything when it was my turn to race, and we ran a 5:17, and it was like, holy cow, we are almost a 10th ahead of the field. But what was awesome was that Rachel and I qualified 1 and 2, which I believe is what we qualified there last year when we ran this regional race. I believe we were 1 and 2, and I know that we finished 1 and 2 last year. And so we were really hoping this year we could have a repeat for us going back to the finals. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because she had lost first round to Dean Dubbin.
Right. Tell me about that, because you gave us the whole background. There was a lot. People might be thinking this is only the Lone Star Nationals and getting back to racing, but you had already gamed out a lot of different things, including the Jegs All-Stars, and there were implications on this race. It was a big deal. And Dean Dubbin, you had to get him out of there, and you had to go many rounds. Here, Rachel is up against Dean. That's a preferable matchup for you guys, and it didn't work out. So, tell me about that and what happens in the pit area when that goes down.
Yeah, so, of course, we always want our cars to do the best, but it was the middle of the day. It was 3 or 4 o'clock for first round, very hot out, which for us, we're making as much power as we can. And unfortunately, Rachel slowed down too much and she lost to Dean. And I don't remember exactly which. I think she ran a 41 or 42, and Dean ran a mid 30. So that really hurt us for Rachel, but she already had her spot guaranteed for the All-Stars. Now, I was not, because I was right behind Dean in points for All-Stars because I had already won the regional championship by the middle of the season. So I quit going to the regional races because I didn't need to go. I already wrapped it all up. I didn't need any more points. But we didn't realize about the All-Stars and that Dean would be able to pass me up because he goes to Denver, which we don't run in Denver. And then he also went to Earlville, which we skipped that one so Julie could hop in and get more points. And she ended up winning the Division III or the North Central Regional Championship because of that. So it ended up hurting me in the long run, but we made it all up. So I had first round against Buddy Domain, and we ran we slowed down to 31, which had been my slowest pass for the whole race. Like I said, middle of the day, very hot out down in Texas, but it was enough to get around him. It was a very close race too. I believe it was like less than a tenth at the finish line. So great race between me and Buddy. And then, but we knew that, okay, so Rachel was out. They did have a B race, which meant all of the guys that did not qualify and that lost first round could go into a separate race. They didn't have to pay extra for it, but there was prize money.
I love that the opportunity that, it's not just over. That's the worst thing about drag racing. You lose first round. It's like all this for nothing. Yeah. You got to go home. A consolation race, a B race, that concept, I get it. Whoever came up with that, great job.
Yeah, and that's something that we used to do, like with the bracket cars. We did it all the time with our junior dragsters at the local track in Kansas City that we raced at. So we thought it was a great idea. I don't know if it was NHRA or the pro mods that came up with the idea, but great idea. Rachel opted out of it just because we were so exhausted. It was already like 6 o'clock by the time we ran first round. It was just hot. We were tired. We didn't have AC running, so we couldn't cool down or take a nap or get more energy. So she opted out of it. And what they ended up doing, because it was so late, they just ran one round and they said whoever was the fastest out of all the cars in that one round ended up getting the money. So I don't remember who won that. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
But so moving on to second round, I had, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. Yes.
Stevens, who has last year crashed at the Winter National, spent the whole year coming back, Auto Club Finals. The car was back, looked fast.
Yeah, and he's one of the toughest guys out there. He's a blower car, and he is from Nebraska, I believe. And so we race against him a lot in our Division 5, and he has always been right there on our tail with us in every race. So I knew because he's a blower car that I had to get him on the tree. And that's exactly what I did. And I cut it a little too close because I had a 006 light, and I was trying so hard to cut a light. I almost red lit, which has happened to me before. So we ran a great run in the semis, which put us up against Dean, which Dean took out Robin Samsel in the semifinals. And so it was going to be a great matchup for the finals. It ended up being like 11 o'clock by the time we ran the final round of me against Dean, and which helped us out because the track and weather, everything cooled down. So that helped us out in the end. And we were able to run, I believe we ran the 519. Yeah, 519 in the final round, which Dean had some motor problems. I think his belt broke or something like that broke. So he struggled in that run. But we were just flying way ahead of him, ran 279 mile per hour, which was the fastest speed for the whole race. Had the quickest and fastest time in the final, got the win, went from #1 qualifier to the winner 2 years in a row. And I couldn't be more happier for my team and for NBK Spark Plugs and Lucas Oil.
It is a huge deal for many reasons. You guys carrying the flag for drag racing, first race back, and both of our champions win. We spoke with Sean early in the week. Folks, if you want to see that interview, it's right below this one. Alan Reinhardt, Sean Bellemere. Check it out. Sean was great. We talked about a lot of different stuff, and the champs are the faces of the category. It's just the way it is. And for you guys to come out of the box, have the brand new wrap, go out there, get the job done. Did you do what you had to do for the Jegs All-Stars? Did you make it? Was that one round? Because Dean made the final round. So did you score that as well?
We did, and I have it pulled up, so I'll give you guys the numbers right now. It's on NHRA's website. If you go to the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series and then click on standings, and then under series, you have to go to Jake's All-Stars to look. We are the Central Region. So right now I am in first for All-Stars, and Rachel is second. So Rachel is about 50 points ahead of Dean. And the way how the All-Stars work is they take your best 5 regional races that are inside your region. So like we race like Gainesville Regional, St. Louis, Chicago, Indy. We do a lot of East Coast Division 3 regionals, but those do not count for All-Stars because we are Division 5 and Division 4 put together. So the fact that we always skip Denver really hurts us with the All-Stars, but we're able to make it up by going rounds at other races. So I'm in first with 351 points with 3 wins. Rachel is in second with 309 points. and she has 2 wins and a runner-up. And then Dean is in 3rd place with 257 points. So I'm so excited for us to be able to go to the All-Stars. And this also means that for the first time ever, we will have 3 cars running this year, because it's going to be me, Julie, and Rachel running in the All-Stars. So it's going to be a very intense race when we get to do that.
That's awesome, though. That's great that you're going to do that. And it's the best thing is we've been doing these interviews for a long time, and being able to see you and how enthusiastic you get about this kind of stuff, I think it goes miles and miles. I'm thrilled to be able to do it this way. But also we have some live people out there on the Facebook who are asking some questions of you. A lot of congratulations. Like Jeanette is out there. She's going to be running a Mickey Thompson Top Fuel Harley Davidson, hopefully later on this year. Just a lot of congratulations pouring in for Meg and Meyer. But some people, first of all, we're getting some people from down there in Oz. It's already Thursday, 6 a.m. down there in Oz. We've actually reached out to Rapisarda Racing. We're going to try to get them on at some point. But Randy wants to know, what is your favorite racing memory, favorite drag racing memory? I'm guessing what I think it should be, but what is it?
It's probably what you're guessing. So it's winning the NTK Nationals last year and winning the World Championship at the same time. There's really no way to top that. Like, winning Indy is really awesome, and that is probably my second most favorite memory. And then below that would be winning Charlotte for the first time when it was the NGK Sparkplugs 4-Wide Nationals, and then winning Charlotte for the first time, my first race back in 2016. And then after that, racing in Super Comp and Junior Dragster. But by far, winning the race and the championship with my sponsors there, my family, my team, everybody there, like, best weekend ever.
And they can party. Like, that's a partying group right there. People don't realize the NGK folks, and not just NG, there are certain sponsors that get it, what it is supposed to be. And it's an exercise to promote your product, of course, but it's also an exercise of team building and getting everybody out there and spending time together and rooting on the driver. And they get it so well. And to be there for the championship celebration and all this different stuff that went down, that was going to be my guess, and I nailed it. That is pretty tremendous. All right, so what's next for the remainder of the, this is just the first race, but I feel a little disjointed in that we still don't know some of the things that are going to go on. So what's next on the schedule for you?
Next up is Columbus Regional, which is at the middle of July. And then we have Topeka Regional the weekend right after that. So this is right before Brainerd National event. So it's going to be very hot racing in Columbus and Topeka. But we are just so excited. I mean, we have all this momentum right now. Like, we want to keep racing, but we can't. There's really no races to go. We're not going to go out to Seattle for the regional race out there. So we're just going to have to wait a month and a half before our next race. And I don't think we're really going to change anything with the cars because they're running great right now. So with Topeka is only about an hour away from us. So we might just go there for a Friday night test and tune if we want to try something out. I know we have new manifolds and scoop that my dad wants to test out. But other than that, we're just going to kind of hang out. I'll probably go on vacation again this summer like I always do, because we always have a break in the summer, and then get back ready to go racing.
There's a couple of things I want to ask you about, then we'll let you go. For people who are wondering, where's Megan? Where is Megan? Where's Megan right now? What are you doing?
Well, I'm in Kansas, and you want to know where I'm actually at?
Yeah, exactly. Let them behind the curtain a little bit. You're doing regular stuff.
Yeah, well, I am at a car dealership right now. I'm getting my truck worked on. We have some electrical issues with the truck, and it's very random. I have no idea what's causing it, but it doesn't start sometimes. And we've had this truck for a year. It's a Ram 1500. So I don't know what causes it, but I'm here at the dealership getting it fixed. And yeah, I got my hair done today for the first time in 3 months. So it's a little bit darker. I used to go bright blonde. Now I go brown. And I want to give a shout out to my best friend. Where's the camera? my best friend, I don't know if you can see this very well.
Yes, we see it. Yeah.
Okay, Marina Anderson, who also races in Top Alcohol Dragster. She's she was out of Chicago, now she lives in Minnesota. She just got engaged, so I just want to say congratulations, Marina. I love you, and I can't wait to go to your wedding because she's a bridesmaid in mine. So
that is awesome. Yeah, well, the circle of young ladies in A-Fuel dragsters, it's just a great, if that's the future of drag racing, we're going to be all right. And that is very exciting for Marina and exciting for you. Your Instagram feed, very cool. You're always posting stuff. And I'm wondering, for years you've been a leader in the social media, and you're always pushing like a positive message. And I wonder, but you're not, it doesn't seem like, that it's a product or anything. It just seems like your general attitude. So tell me a little bit about why you've been so devoted to Instagram and posting.
Well, first off, I love Instagram because there's so many different ways that you can use it. You can do Instagram posts, you can do videos, you can do carousels, you can do boomerangs, you can do lives, you can do IGTVs, which Instagram just did an update to where they're not putting the Instagram lives in your stories anymore. You can either put it directly on your IGTV or you can put it directly onto your feed, which is something you've never been able to do before. You would have had to actually download the video, which you only get a chance to do it, which is like a second right after you're done with the live, and then it goes away forever. So pretty cool. Instagram's got a new update out, and I am going to be sending all the details about that to my Driven by Social eCourse students on Friday. And so yeah, I don't know. I have always been on social media. Like, it wasn't around when I got started racing junior dragsters, but by the time I was like 16, 17, 18, moving out of juniors, going into super comp, that's when like social media started becoming like a big deal to use for business and to become like a brand ambassador or like an influencer, stuff like that. And so that was like just right around the same time that I was using it. With my degree being in graphic design, we had to like make graphics for social media. We had to make videos to put on YouTube and Facebook and all this stuff. So I just kind of have always been around it. A little self-taught, but also learned a lot when I was in school. But so much has changed now since I was in school. I don't know. That was a long time ago. Now I feel so old now.
Like 4 years. Oh my gosh. It's like 4 years. Listen, feeling old thing, it just gets worse and worse. So don't worry about it. All right. Next question. And I appreciate this. And I know that hopefully your truck is ready and you'll be able to go. But I'm wondering about the 2007 Top Alcohol Dragster world record by Bill Reichert, 5'10" with a 3. It happened in Houston. Last year, it got a scare a couple of times. Whoever breaks that record, that's going to be a big, big deal. Is that on your dad's mind? Does he think about that? Is he working towards that? Is that something that's like, is there a dry erase board somewhere at the trucking center, like with a scheme to break that record? Because that's going to be a historic day.
Yes and no. So yes, because we're always trying to be faster, better, stronger, especially against the blower cars. But no, because as soon as we do that, then NHRA is going to change the rules and either lower our fuel percentage, where we have 95% nitro, and which we can have at 40 degrees. So they're either going to lower the amount of nitro that we can use or raise the temperature that we can run it at, which will slow us down. So that way it's more fair when we're racing against the blower cars. So we always want to, because with our racing, it's whoever gets to the finish line first wins. It's not like bracket racing. So we always want to be better, faster, stronger than everybody else we're racing against. But at the same time, we don't want to break that record because then NHRA is going to slow us down as a whole. So it's kind of, it's mixed emotions whenever we're out there. And like last year, we ran that 5'11" at 285. So we are this close to breaking that record with the current rules that we have right now, where back then in 2007, it was 100% nitro, and you could have it as cold as you wanted to. I don't remember exactly what the temperature was back then. But it's like, every time that we do go out there and we run a teen, or like when we ran that 11, we weren't exactly trying to run that. Like, we were trying to run fast as always because it was during qualifying. But, you know, it's just always a matter of perfect place and perfect timing, perfect weather, perfect parts, crew setup, tune-up. It's just everything just comes together perfectly. And you never know exactly when that's going to happen. But when it does, like you can feel it as a driver, and it's awesome. And I have a GoPro video of that. So if someone wants to go and watch that 511 run, it's up on my Facebook and my Instagram. I don't know if it's on our YouTube channel. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, it's just, it feels awesome because like I can tell a difference between a 10th of a second when I'm driving my car, and I can tell when it's hauling ass.
I bet you can. And the next time it does, you're not going to lift off the pedal just because you're going to set a world record.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. And hey, there may be NHRA won't do anything if it's a rare circumstance, but you did give it a ride last year. Megan, thank you for coming on WFO Radio Live. I appreciate it. Always love having you on. Yes, give those Instagram channels, all those social channels so people can follow along with you. And you've been great to come on the show like several times in the last month since we've been quarantined. I really appreciate it. Let people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. My handle is @meganmeyer.racing. You can also follow the Randy Meyer Racing Team, which is just Randy Meyer Racing Team on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then on Twitter, we are Meyer Sisters. And so we are on every single platform except for TikTok, because I don't know if I want to be on TikTok. Like, to me, that's like, I'm too old for it. Like, that's like my niece and nephew are on there.
Right. No, TikTok. I refuse as well. Let's boycott TikTok. Well, first of all, there were actually some real data security issues early on about who owned TikTok. And I've spent enough time seeing that it's not for me. I know it's not for me. That's not my kind of thing. But hey, I'm glad that you say that as well. So welcome to the world of the middle age, Megan Meyer. Well, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that's watching.
All right. Next win. We'll see you again. Thank you, Megan. Take care.
See ya.
There she goes. Megan Meyer with us here on WFO. Race winner, Lone Star Nationals, top alcohol dragster, Lucas Oil Series. Great stuff. And I'm so happy to hear she's not into TikTok. I am not into TikTok. I've got friends, they're scrolling the TikTok and they're seeing it, and like you're looking at it and you're scrolling it and you're scrolling it and you're scrolling it. It's like 2 hours later. What? Where did the time go? And it's just, oh man, who am I to judge, right? I'm not cool or anything, but it's inane. What is it? It's nonsense. The wiping. What's with the wiping? Why is everybody wiping? Why? There's things. Anyway, all right, nobody cares about that. I know what you care about, and I care about it too. I care about American history is what I care about. And so, yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to or not supposed to, but we got it anyway. I have got the NASA broadcast of the Falcon 9 rocket getting ready to launch. We're just minutes away. We are just minutes away
of the United States in this launch today.
And we're going to watch it. Yeah, this is part of my plan the whole time. I come up with some good stuff. Let me get sure we get all the way up to speed live. And I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. Let's lower the volume. No. There it is. So I can tell you folks about the great stuff that we've got coming on this week. Now, don't go anywhere just because our guest left, because I've got just some tremendous things to tell you about. Like, number one, tomorrow we'll be doing the show, WFO Radio Live, a little earlier to accommodate the schedule of our guest, who is John Force. John Force will be our guest tomorrow on WFO Radio Live. Based on his convenience and schedule, et cetera, and so on. But I've gotten the go-ahead. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. What are you going to do? All right, now I've got this monitored. We're going to keep watching. So that is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. We encourage you to share and do all of that stuff. That's number one. Okay. Number two, I just sent out the first wave of WFO Radio logo masks. I also went to the post office and got some stickers. For those of you that are looking for a cloth mask that is not guaranteed to protect you from anything, I just got to say that, but it is a cloth mask. It's going to protect some other people and show off this fancy logo. And it's got this great pocket that you could stick, like N95 in there if you wanted to go crazy. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. The people who support the show directly are getting this for the first wave. WFO Radio stickers. If you are someone who would like WFO Radio stickers, I am the type of person that wants to send them to you. P.O. Box 848-353, Pembroke Pines, Florida, 33084. And I got some nice notes, and people were like, thank you for doing the show, and thank you for listening and watching the show and sharing the show and starting a watch party. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to that address, P.O. Box 848-353, Pembroke Pines, Florida, and we'll load it up and send it back. Simple as that. I want to get my sponsor mentions out of the way. Total Seal Piston Rings, of course, the leader in ring seal technology. Total Seal doing great things. Our new podcast, Hidden Horsepower, is up. Got some great episodes upcoming. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. We're going to have a new Hidden Horsepower coming up real soon. And my buddy, Marvin Rodak, who was actually out there, hot sauces and spice rubs, doing amazing stuff. But now, if you're in the comment section, feel free to comment. Oh, it's scrub due to weather. That's it. We just found out that information. Bummer. I knew that was going to be a problem, which means
about time we get up to a 10th flight, we'll be doing testing.
Which means
to find that we probably got
Saturday is the makeup day. And Saturday,
this is the very first flight of a new first stage. And
the idea that I could drive up there is in my mind. Now, why is this a big deal? I know we talk racing on this show, but space, the final frontier, something that I think I venture to guess that everyone that loves drag racing also loves space, the space program, for many reasons. One is the timing of it. Drag racing really coming on the scene in the same era. Late 50s, early 60s, the golden era of drag racing. People who were involved in drag racing and digging out Hemis from junkyards, building these crafts. At the same time, our NASA and the space program, I'm sure you've seen the right stuff if you're young, Mercury astronauts were going through that. The breaking of the sound barrier, air and speed, all of those things, they kind of went together. Not to mention the classic cars that we all love so much, the fins and the wings and all that were really modeled after the whole aerospace industry. Some of the old Pontiacs have got an actual rocket on the side with little puffs coming out of the back of the rocket. Pretty amazing stuff embedded in the chrome. So the idea that we are going to push the edge of technology on the ground and look to the skies and think about what's possible, of course, we're interested in space. And again, we do know that the mission was scrubbed due to weather. I kind of figured that because I live here in South Florida, but I am leaving it up because I just think it's a cool visual. And, you know, NASA, technically my tax dollars are supporting this the stream. So I feel comfortable with it. But what's going to happen, whether it be Saturday or Sunday or otherwise, is truly historic. And I would love for us as citizens, as people, to get back to the point where we have some things that are commonly accepted as great for all of us. And when the space program and the space, look at that, the space race began, no Americans were rooting against us. It was all of us together. And we're fighting this virus, and now we're about to hopefully have this fantastic launch that's going to send Americans back to space on an American-built rocket for the first time since, I think, 2009? Since the shuttle. And that, it just goes to show you, I can tell you my own personal thoughts on it. When they scrubbed the shuttle program, I felt like it was a mistake. But what the heck do I know? I don't know anything. I'm just a person with an opinion. And I knew that not having the ability to send our own guys into space and to rely on the Russians was probably negative. Like, that doesn't sound like a good thing. And I know I wasn't alone. A lot of people felt that way. But it shows what I know, and that there's a longer term vision. And what was the vision? The vision was to enable private corporations like SpaceX and obviously Richard Branson, Virgin Galactic, companies like that to emerge, to give them the space to emerge. And the time it has taken, a little more than 10 years, and now here we are. And the technology has been developed by private companies, and there's going to be hopefully multiple. And NASA has still got a hand in it, and we can still take pride in it. It turns out it was actually the right road, just didn't realize it at the time or didn't have the vision or the foresight. And so many people, like, what's going on now that we don't realize is right or wrong 10 years from now? We just don't know. But if this happens Saturday, it's been scrubbed. The launch has been scrubbed. If it happens on Saturday, it is going to be a major accomplishment. And it's going to be something that I think all Americans can take pride in. And we should take pride in it. Because this is our technology. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of negative going on in the world. But just because something negative is going on doesn't mean you stop working on what's positive. And that's what they did. I want to thank you guys for watching the show. Megan Meyer, tremendous, big victory. This audio will be up on the WFO Radio podcast. We encourage you to subscribe. WFOradio.com can get you there. If you haven't checked out our website, please do. You can find how to subscribe everywhere, and you can watch all of our happy hour shows. I mentioned tomorrow, John Force, great place to watch John Force, will be on YouTube. Click subscribe and click the bell. Never miss a notification. We've added about 90 subscribers since we started this, and that's good. We only have to get up to about 150,000 to make it like a real valuable thing. So we're not quite. We're a little past 0.5%, I guess. So we're doing good. Also, WFO20 is the promo code if you want a WFO Radio t-shirt or any t-shirt from nitrofishracing.com, which is super cool. They are the ones who had the WFO Radio masks made. People are loving it. And yes, I'm going to be straight with it. People are saying it looks a little bit like a little too silky, like a little shiny. I don't want to say what it looks like a little bit, but it's a cool WFO Radio logo mask, and the Patreon's getting it first. Go to nitrofishracing.com, use the promo code WFO20, and you'll get 20% off. Big thanks to Steve Brenwald, who does our artwork, and just sent me some fantastic artwork about our happy hour show. So tomorrow, we've got John Force, which is going to be tremendous. But then, on Friday, at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I really need help from everybody that is out there continuing to view. Friday. And the numbers dropped, dramatically after Megan left. And you know why, and we all know why. It's no big deal. But Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, happy hour on WFO Radio Live, Beer with Selzy. Gary Selzy. Won championships, just about everything. One of the greats behind the wheel. One of the greats in terms of personality. Beer with Selzy. Who is in on that? So whatever your plans are for Friday, you could be at the track. Maybe you're going to be at the PDRA race. You're going to be out there. There is no reason why you can't throw on WFO Radio on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or otherwise and have a beer with Selzy. And myself. And got some other guys that are confirmed. Chad Head is going to join and others. And we're putting together a program, much like we did with Ron Tobler. It's going to be cool. Mike Heiner out there. Mike Heiner did a great job on the show. We should take pride in this launch. Absolutely. There's somebody who's like, that money could have been used for something. Yeah, well, that argument is always able to be made. But, some things, there should be national pride in some things. This is one of those things. There are many others as well. And I'm excited. Maybe I'll drive up there on Saturday. The only problem is, what if it gets scrubbed again? That's a 2.5 hour drive. It's a gamble, and now do I want to be on the highways? That is a good question. So we'll have to see, but thank you for the feedback. Michael Heiner, appreciate it. Who is now my Formula One buddy. And all you listeners out there, thank you very much. Right here on the Facebook page, YouTube, Tobler Caps, Courtney Anders, Jason Logan, Mike Heiner, Cruz Padragon, Alan Przinski. We've had some great shows lately. This week, Alan Reinhart, Sean Bellemere, Megan Meyer. Great job, Megan. Really appreciate it. Bobby Graham, that's someone who really enjoys her job. Absolutely. You can see the passion for her job on her face. And that's why Megan has done so well in the sport of NHRA drag racing. And she and Sean Bellemere, watch him as well. He is enthusiastic about the sport. I really appreciate all you guys. Once again, WFO Radio stickers, P.O. Box 848-353 if you want a mask. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. And it has been just fantastic over this period. Yeah, so we got Force and Selzy back-to-back days. You might as well go to click subscribe right now and lock it in. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on WFO Radio. And we will see you next time right here on the show. WFO, everybody.